Hello, beautiful people. It's Deanna, your fave stylist, here to give you some more awesome beauty professional tidbits. I'm at the shop today, and as you can see, I'm not dressed in black, so that probably means that I'm not servicing clients today, and I just had to come in and do some paperwork and get some things done. And I had a tax meeting so that I can stop trying to kill myself and run the every little entire detail of my world. So if you need an awesome tax accountant for your business, I got one for you. She is helping me get all my stuff together. This January coming will be the first January since I've opened my business that I will be prepared for taxes in the month of January, as opposed to filing an extension after April or whatever the case may be. But that's a whole nother video, getting prepared for your taxes. It's September, October, November, December. I've got 3 months, and I'm going to be going in labor soon, so I don't want to have to be worried about filing my receipts and things like that by the time January comes around. So today's video actually was going to be about telephone etiquette, but since I'm fresh out of a tax meeting, why don't we talk about that? Okay, so here are some things that I have learned as an up-and-coming beauty professional. I first opened up my business in 2013. I was in a smaller solo salon, and I had really bad tax preparation habits, like horrible. And so I wasn't doing proper bookkeeping. Sometimes I would write down what I was going to, sometimes I would write down my income from clients. Sometimes I wouldn't, and I would go back and do it all at the end of the week. Sometimes I would do my deposits weekly. Sometimes I would do my deposits bi-weekly whenever I deposit them into my account. In the beginning, it was just one account. Like I was just doing my account for Melvirus Hair Studio and for my personal account. That was all just horribly bad, and I found out the hard way. So I was not doing quarterly taxes, where you actually send in an estimated amount of your payment to the IRS and the state tax federal people. Well, state and federal are two separate, but you got your state taxes, then you got your federal taxes. That's IRS. Well, I wasn't on top of all of those things. My TPT taxes for when you sell retail and stuff like that, you have to report that to the state. You have to send in some type of report, or otherwise what happens is you end up getting in some financial trouble. So a couple years ago, when I had opened up my business at the solar salon, I was doing really good. But like I said, I wasn't doing everything I was supposed to. But I was getting these IRS letters, and they were constantly trying to get me to respond. And I would never respond because, you know, we handle our business exactly how we handle our personal business at home. And I'm the type of chick, like if it ain't on auto, I might forget. There has been a few times, I can't lie, where I have actually gotten an eviction notice, not because I didn't have the money to pay my bill, but because I was at the salon being so busy trying to build a clientele. Like that's all I thought about nonstop. I would actually forget to pay my rent until I got like the 30-day notice, and I'm like, you know what, let me go pay these people. And then I got slick, and I put everybody on auto pay. So now all I got to do, I think about it now because I'm like, And I had a bad habit of not opening my mail as soon as I got it. I would take mail, and I had like a mailbox inside the house from the mailbox. I might as well left it sitting in the mailbox, and I would actually sit it in that box. And then a month, 2 months would go by, and it would be notices coming, and I just was so poor about staying on top of those things. So here are some things that as an up-and-coming beauty professional, you need to know. If you are an independent contractor, any other business that you're working in, if you're working for commission, even if you get paid hourly, this definitely pertains to the booth renters, because a booth renter, you are self-employed. You just happen to work inside of an establishment. So this is my thing. If you are going to be self-employed, first you need to understand that you are self-employed. You are no longer going to be getting a W-2 from anybody to tell you when to pay your taxes or that your taxes are going to be deducted out of your account. So now it is your responsibility every quarter of the year. There's 4 quarters in a year: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. There's 4 quarters. Every single quarter, you need to make it your business to send in a quarterly payment to IRS and to your, like for me, it would be Arizona State Revenue. You want to make sure to do that. And if you don't know exactly how much you should have to pay, you need to get with a good tax professional so that they can help you evaluate your taxes from the year before in comparison with your income now that you're claiming. And they can help you get your quarterly payments in order to where they're close enough to where you won't either have to pay, or maybe you'll get a little bit of money back, or maybe you will only owe a little bit. What I used to do is I would not send anything. I would be pocketing all my money, living la vida loca, vacation, balling out of control on money that I should have been sending in on taxes. Like, ooh, I made $2,000 this week. You might have wanted to took about a good $300 of that and set it to the side for your taxes, okay? Because it's real. They will freeze up your bank accounts. It is not a joke. I was doing Mary Kay at one point in time, and I was selling Tracy Lynn jewelry and purses, and I was also doing hair and teaching occasionally. Every single one of my accounts that I had set up for those things, they all got froze up, okay? Uncle Sam don't play. You gonna pay him tomorrow or you gonna pay him today, but you gonna pay, okay? So just be on top of that. You do not want to be involved in some tax scandal just simply because it's hard, because if you don't send in your quarterly taxes, what happens is instead of you breaking it up into $1,000 this quarter, $2,000 or $1,000 the next quarter, and end up paying, $4,000, you mess around and get to your tax time and owe $5,000 out of nowhere. And what happens is they allow you to set it up on a payment arrangement, right? But then get this. If you continue the same habits like I did, you begin to do that again the next year. And so now you're paying a very minimal amount on these payment arrangements. They are charging you interest. So instead of you paying the $5,000 that you needed to pay, you're now paying $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. And then when tax season comes around and that deadline comes up again the next April, you made the same amount of money you made the last year, probably, if you're not growing. And boom, there's your next $5,000 that's going to get piled on to the one that you do owe with the interest. Now they're going to start charging you interest for that one. And it just keeps rolling over. And it gets very, very stressful to try to minimize it. So you need to get disciplined enough to do the quarterly taxes. Pay your bills on time at home so that when you start running a business, you will already be in the habit of paying your bills, opening your mail, set up things automatically if you're so busy to where you can't keep up with it. For me, I've lost a lot of money because I thought I could do everything. I could do my bookkeeping, and I could do marketing, and I could do the orders, and I could be human resources, and I can do my clients full time and teach part time over here and be the cleaning lady and all of this other stuff. No. There are certain things that you are going to be a master at as a hairstylist. That's hairstyling. And you should be getting paid enough to where you can pay other people to do services for you, because it makes no sense for you to say, you know what, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure out how to do these taxes, and you spend 5 hours figuring out how to do taxes. Let's say you $100 an hour lady, like I like to think of myself. I'm going to up that up in a little bit, but I feel confident enough to say I'm $100 an hour lady, right? my time is worth $100 an hour. That's $500 that I could have been making had I spent 5 hours working on a client, and then I probably only had to pay somebody $250 for the whole month to do my taxes. So my issue lately, as of the past couple of years, has been trying to be so frugal or cheap and make sure that I'm keeping that extra $250 to myself, when you really think about it, that's not your expertise. You got to take time to learn it, take time to execute it, take time to double check it, and then turn it into somebody. I have spent 10, 15, 20, hundreds of hours trying to do bookkeeping when I could have said, you know what? Let me go ahead and bite this bullet and pay this lady this $250 for her to do my bookkeeping for a week. It ain't going to take me but 1 to 2 days, if that, to make $250, depending on what you charge for your clientele. But you have to think about that. You're a lot quicker at doing hair. So you can go to work and make $500 in 1 day, most hairstylists, and then take half of that money, pay for the bookkeeping, financial services that you need, which all of them are not that expensive depending on who you are working with. Some of them cost more, some of them cost less, but pay for it. We are not bookkeepers. We are hairstylists. There is a difference between being a full-time hairstylist and a full-time bookkeeper. And if you are running a legit business and you are on top of your bookkeeping, it can be very difficult. Now, I'm not going to say there's not some people out there that cannot handle it. And I'm not going to say that there's some people out there that can't do both. I couldn't do both. So if you are a person like me and you don't like numbers, you don't like to do things like homework, it was a reason why you didn't continue in college, okay? Budget your money, know your numbers so you know what you can spare and how much it would cost you to get somebody to help you get things done more quickly and more efficiently. Get yourself set up on estimated payments. You will regret it. If you ain't claiming everything that you need to claim, you better make sure that it don't bite you in your butt, because I feel like I've been taught that if the hair salon that you work for get audited, or somebody in your hair salon may or may not get audited, then it kind of trickles down to everybody. And I was also taught by some of my tax professionals that we are a cash and carry business. So that means that we are more likely to be hit, and we're more likely for IRS to pay attention to us because we have so many opportunities where we do not have to claim all of our money. Okay, so claim your money. I claim everything because in the future, I am looking to grow. And if I'm looking for investors or to get loans or to purchase a home or a bigger building or some type of credit or something like that, those people want to know about your income. And you know how they do that? They go by your bank statement. But if your bank statement says you make $1,000 a month, or $500 a month, or $200 a week, when you know good and darn well you making $700-800, it's going to be really, really hard for you to prove to these people that you're trustworthy, for one, and that you're actually making the money that it will take for you to pay them back the money that they loaned you plus interest. Now, if you're not looking into getting loans and things like that, then fine, pay for your houses, all cash money with all that money you ain't claiming, whatever. But I just wanted to give you guys that tidbit today. I was going to do, I keep looking because I want to make sure my time is right. I just want to do my tidbit today. I was going to do it on proper phone etiquette because some hairstylists are just so very relaxed when it comes to answering the phone. But I think that's one that we'll maybe do, probably, that's maybe mixed with probably. Okay, so y'all don't be stunting on me. Anyway, y'all have a good day. And tune in tomorrow. I'm going to do proper phone etiquette. And y'all have a good day. And I'll see you on the next video. This has been Deanna, your fave stylist. Follow, like, subscribe.